Good morning, everybody. All right, guys, this is Georgette Miller, and we're back. Now, guys, I have to tell you this story. It's the wildest thing ever. So, we had a decent sized Facebook page, a couple Facebook pages. And I gotta give a shout out to Facebook because, they get a lot of ish. And I'm not here to say one way or another whether they deserve it, but I can tell you my pages got stolen by some people in Vietnam, and we called up Facebook security. We emailed them because you can't get them on the phone, but we texted them. And they went after those pages like a pit bull with a bone. I mean, they got it. Then the pages were taken back by the people in Vietnam. And then Facebook went and got it again. The pages were taken back. Facebook security got that pages again. And we got our pages back. We had to delete them because we didn't trust them. But I mean, I got to give a shout out to Facebook. They were relentless, and I appreciate them. Thank you very much. But Facebook security was like, they were no joke. But anyway, that's why we were off for a couple of weeks because, we didn't really trust the pages. When we got them back, we had to get new pages and reestablish our presence and the whole 9 yards. So that's the reason why you haven't seen us in a couple of weeks. We were fighting with people in Vietnam that wanted my pages. It was incredible. But anyway, we're back, and I'm double vaxxed. Hallelujah. And things are opening up. So, what can I say? We're getting the good and the bad. And the good is, we can go back to restaurants. Some of us who are vaxxed can go about our business without masks. Restaurants are back to full capacity. We can go out and watch a movie. The good is coming. But what we have to understand is so is the bad. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, so for a year, in some instances, a year and a half, many of us have been on mortgage deferments. Many of us have been on rental deferments. Many of us haven't gotten those debt collection calls for repossessed cars. All that has been on a pause, so to speak. We've lived in this false sense of, okay, I have this space to breathe, which was given to us by the Fed, our federal and local government. But now it's back to the future. Now it's back to reality. And we have to come up with plans, because the debt collectors, let's be frank, they haven't really made their money for a year and a half, because they haven't really touched you guys for a year and couldn't. They were legally barred from filing issues in court, judgments in court against you and all that happy good stuff for a year and a half. But now they can. So for many of them, they haven't really made their money for a year and a half. Now it's catch-up time. So once the gates open, they on like Donkey Kong. And you can't be mad at them. That's their job. Their job is to go out and collect debt and make their money. That's their job. Your job is to do what? Protect yourself and protect your money for you and your family. Everybody needs to know their role and play their positions. Now, Of course, you can file a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13 to protect yourself. And of course, they know that that's your right to do it. The question is, are you doing it? Are you playing your role and playing, knowing your role and playing your position? Because when you do it, the debt collectors aren't mad. They know that, this is a part of the game. But for many of you, you're going to sit there and get yourself got. And you can't do that. You have to put yourself in the debt collectors or the bank's position. I mean, and they are a business. It's their job to make money for themselves and their shareholders. And they haven't been able to do it for a year and a half. And now they can. Or the gates are opening up so that they're able to make their money. They're going to come out like gangbusters. They got to make their money. And so, guys, don't sit there and get got. I've been doing this now with the radio for 12 years. I've been practicing for 21. And it never fails to amaze me. It befuddles me that individuals sit there and let these debt collectors take their money. You need your money, especially coming out of a 100-year pandemic. You need your money for you and your family. You need to protect as much as your of your savings, your homes, your whatever for you and your family. Now, I've been out there championing a Chapter 7 for a while now. My default position always is, can I get you a Chapter 7 so you can get in and get out and move on with your life? But the prices of homes have gone up astronomically. So a client that came into my office in November and filed a bankruptcy and had a house with maybe $20,000 worth of equity, $30,000 worth of equity, which for me is not a problem. We can protect that and you can still file the Chapter 7 and move on. That same client, if they came into my office today, that house will probably not have $20,000 worth of equity, but $100,000 worth of equity, which moves me from a Chapter 7 to a Chapter 13. That's what happens when you guys wait. And I've been saying this for 20 years. You guys can't be waiting. When you wait, you get got. So now I'm moving to putting you in a Chapter 7 where you would be in and out to a Chapter 13 where we're negotiating with a trustee and try to make arguments for you to pay less than the total amount owed. Guys, you gotta come up with a plan. And waiting is never a good option. I remember being in the Southern District of New York one day, one morning for a hearing, and Judge Drain was sitting on the bench, and he was like really reaming this debtor out. And he was like, look, you can't bury your head in the sand, because when you bury your head in the sand, you leave another body part exposed. And guys, we got to get in the saddle and we got to come up with plans to save ourselves and our financial future, because things are opening up, and that comes with the good and that comes with the bad. And we have to enjoy the good and prepare ourselves for the bad. And the bad is that the courts are opening up, so we got to come up with plans for those of us who have been on a financial pause for the last year and a half. Now, I've done multiple videos regarding filing a Chapter 7 and filing a Chapter 13. Before, I took the hiatus, I had started a 13-part course, and because all that was lost when they stole my Facebook page, I'm going to start over again, where we're going to go through weekly what's a Chapter 7, What's a chapter 13? When do I qualify for a small business chapter 11? What happens after I file a bankruptcy? You know, many of you believe that you're lost for 10 years. That's just bullpucky, and that's just infinitely false. You know, I'm going to demystify the foolishness and basically knock down the stories we tell ourselves that prevents us from basically taking care of ourselves and taking care of our family by filing a chapter 7 or a chapter 13. Guys, the game is on. What I want to leave you with is this. You have the legal right to get yourself out of debt. Use it. Because again, courts are opening up. You got to be ready for the good. We're seeing the end of this pandemic in our future. And with the end comes the good, which is we're going to get back to our lives. You know, I keep going back to restaurants because that's what I missed. I missed dinner and a movie. That was my Saturday, at least once a month, me and my spouse, we would have dinner and a movie, and we weren't able to do that. So I really look forward to that, to being able to do that again. But with that good comes the bad. And the bad is the courts are opening up, the moratoriums on foreclosures, the moratoriums on evictions from rental apartment, the moratorium on your creditors coming after you because the courts weren't open. All that protection is going away. And you guys need to be ready, and you need to protect yourselves. Now, again, guys, if you want a free consultation with me or one of my attorneys, the number to call is, I did it right, 866-96-GM-LAW, 866-96-G for Georgette, M for Miller Law. We do cases in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. For any other state, you want to go to NACBA.org. That's the National Association of Consumer Bankruptcy Attorneys. And they have a site where you can find a consumer bankruptcy attorney in any state where you are. Just go and there, find an attorney's page, and you will have lots of options. Don't let life happen. Get on the saddle, take the bull by the horns, and let's get this right. 2020 was a mess. Hallelujah. Let's make 2021 better. Now, as they say in my country, walk good, and I'll talk to you all next week.